Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Higdon Outdoors. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
For those wondering, it's still hot and it's still windy out there.
It's terribly windy. With us today, former Texas Longhorn great, Mr. Travis Schneider.
That's sacrilegious.
Yeah, appreciate that, dude. Asshole.
I saw a kid.
They didn't even let you do this stuff anymore, do they? I think they kick you out or whatever they do.
And that's fucking stupid. You need to toughen up.
Isn't it?
I saw a deal last night where some guys were interviewing NFL players, and everybody from Alabama, they'd introduce them as LSU Tiger great. And they'd be like, whoa, hold on, dog. First of all, I didn't go to LSU. I played for Alabama. And then
I'm surprised how some of them can even keep up with that stuff anymore. How much they transfer all over.
Yeah. These were guys that have been in the league for 5 or 6 years, so they missed out all that free money. How much money do you think you'd have made playing college football as a starter?
More than them $100 handshakes I used to get at the quarterback club, but more, Jeff. We had our school paid for. We had a $850 a month stipend check, from what I can remember, and that's all we got.
You'd be getting $250,000. You'd be getting $250,000 a year playing offensive tackle, maybe $500,000 a year.
That'd be all right. I'd still end up a broke ass goose guy. So
yeah, but God, you'd have had fun doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, Duck told me. He quarterbacked at Stanfield, which is FCS 2, I believe. He told me his coaches told him, because he was the number one quarterback in FCS 2, he could have transferred his junior and senior year, and he'd probably made $5 million a year going to play quarterback at a Division I at a big program. Just crazy the kind of money these kids, and now they're having leverage where they don't really want to go to the NFL right now. If they're not going to be if you're not going to be a first round draft pick or second round pick, there is no sense to go to the NFL early.
I was about to say, why would you, man? I'd stay in college and ride that pony as long as I could with what they're paying them kids right now.
Arch Manning's good. If I was Arch Manning, I'd be trying to get on that 7-year program at Texas. Make 10 to 15
Isn't that what
who
was the kid that just come out of Miami? The one that was their quarterback?
Carson Beck.
Yeah, hell, wasn't he a 25, 26-year-old senior there?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think Diego Pavla, I think that he went to prom with a lady, and then he went to prom with her daughter when he was still in college the whole time he'd been there long. I think he was there. I think he was.
Andy, let's fact check Joe.
Well, okay, he wasn't quite that old.
Hyperbole.
But I think he was a 7-year college player too.
Oh yeah, well wasn't he the fella that got all the JUCO stuff going? Like if you go and play in JUCO for those 2 years, it doesn't count against your eligibility in a 4-year program.
And then he went to Vanderbilt. I saw where the NCAA the other day finally said you're eligible for 5 years. True freshman, you got 5 years eligibility, and in that time, that's it.
JUCO and everything.
You got 5 years to play sports outside of high school.
I haven't really had my ear to the ground on a lot of that stuff recently, but what did they end up doing with that quarterback from Tech, the one that was gambling?
He's out. He's done. NFL's not taking him. The Canadian League is not taking him. The UFL did say, holler at us.
There's no reason. It'd be stupid for him to do that. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. He would have been the second quarterback taken this year. He's going to have no bad film all year long. So as long as he don't get in trouble this offseason, someone's probably going to take him in the first round next year.
But they can't. The NFL canceled the supplemental draft because he had declared for the supplemental draft. They canceled it. So we're not taking him till we can do more investigations.
Yep.
Nothing.
Now, were some schools or some conferences in the country outside the Big 12, are they coming out saying, hey, we're not going to play against Tech or something like that?
Nebraska and Georgia both said they wasn't going to play them in sports ever again. And now today, the Iowa State AD come out and said that Texas Tech should have to pay all the legal fees that the Big 12 was having to occur. Tech didn't do anything wrong. And I'm not a Tech homie, Andy is. So I'm biased as could be in this. Tech did nothing wrong. Unbiased. They gave him money to come play football there. They found out he did something. They turned him in. He sued.
I don't think Tech turned him in.
Yeah, I think they turned him in.
I thought Cincinnati did.
Okay, Cincinnati did. You're right. Tech didn't know nothing about it. Cincinnati come out and said that what was going on. Then he filed suit against Big 12
Well, and
and Tech.
Well, and Cincinnati sued Sorsby to get
their money back.
To get their money back, to get it to where he couldn't go to Tech. And then when he got out of his contract with Cincinnati, then Cincinnati said, "Oh, well, guess what? He's made 9,000 bets. So you might want to look into this, NCAA."
It's a screwed up deal. But then some people are pushing that Tech needs to leave the Big 12. Tech ain't got nowhere to go. Tech does not want to be in the SEC.
I was about to say, who's going to take him in?
Yeah, SEC don't want Tech. If they were going to pick someone to take in, they're going to go for Florida State or Miami would be their first two choices, I would think. Tech don't want to go to Conference USA. They're in the perfect situation. They can be the big dog and the big brother in the Big 12.
Sure they can.
I mean, hell, they won. They went to the NCAA tournament in basketball. I don't know if they made the NCAA tournament in baseball.
I don't think they did.
The girls softball team got beat in the finals. Football, they went to the playoffs.
They went to the playoffs. That's right.
I mean, they had a great season. They only got one team they got to worry about in football this year, unless somebody's got the transfer portal locked down again, is BYU. Otherwise, they're probably going to be trying to play for maybe getting in a playoff with a shitty quarterback or not.
Yeah.
So if I was people in Lubbock, I wouldn't get too jumpy about trying to screw up again like they did Mike Leach and jump out of the Big 12, because I think they'd be making a huge mistake.
Yeah, a huge mistake.
So how much, when you were a college athlete, did you go to the bar scene much, or were you pretty buttoned up in business?
No, Andy. I grew up in a bubble just about 50, 60 miles south of College Station, a small town called Belleville, Texas. And you would think whenever I moved up the road a little ways and got away from mom and dad, I'd never been anywhere, because my freshman year, I basically made an ass of myself, man. I can remember I had a couple classes, dude. I think I showed up on syllabus day, and that was about it. And what I can really remember is when the midterm grades came out my freshman year, we were getting suited up for practice or whatever, and I'm in the locker room, put my cleats on, and Jim Bob Hellduser, who was our O-line coach, he's dead now. And Jim Bob was about 5'6", had a full head of gray hair. But when Jim Bob got mad, he got beet red, like tomato red, and he had this vein that kind of come across his forehead sideways like this, like went from one end of his forehead and attached to the other eyebrow down below. And I saw his little feet right in front of me as I'm tying my cleats up, and I looked up, and there he was, man, just beet face, beet red, and like steam coming out his ears, and because he had seen my midterms, and I had a 1.7 GPA coming out at midterms. I was about to fail out of A&M, and that's because really, man, I hadn't gone to class at all. I was too busy there at Northgate running around. So after that, I kind of sort of got my act together. But no, man, I kind of hopped around. I had fun.
Okay. So if you had gotten that big check like Jeff's talking about, $250,000 a year,
I'd have been real popular at Northgate for a while, I think. The best thing for me would have been to all of that money, or the vast majority of that money, is to go into somewhere where I can't touch it until I'm out of school. Probably would have been the deal.
But that's my thing, is like you're handing 18-year-olds, you're basically like handing them the keys to a fucking Ferrari whenever you give them all this money.
That's exactly what some of them are doing too.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure.
Like way more juice than what they need. And
hopefully they have the right guidance where they don't end up dead ass broke whenever they come out of school.
Well, it's just, I mean, it was hard enough. You had a 1.7 GPA. Like, imagine if you had a couple $1 million in the bank. Like, what the fuck are you gonna tell me? I don't care.
I'd have flunked out, been kicked. Oh yeah.
What about the dumbass at Detroit Lions, that Terrion Arnold, the defensive back?
I haven't seen anything.
First round draft pick last year. So they pick an Uber driver and they have a house party. Somebody goes and robs them. So, or steals shit out of the house party or something. So he thinks the Uber driver did it. So him and a couple of his buddies go and they call this Uber driver over and they beat him up, pistol whip him, and tie him up and leave him in a room somewhere and make him bring his buddies over that they're innocent. Well, guess what? The Uber driver had nothing to do with it. They filed kidnapping charges on him, strangulation, all this kind of shit. Detroit cut him yesterday. He's on $1 million bond. He was a first-round pick. Busted his ass to get to be a first-round draft pick, and now he's already out of football. Going to be out of football probably forever.
And he just got drafted, Jeff, or he been in the league?
He got drafted last year. He played 1 year in the league.
Wow.
And this was what's crazy. They had $80,000 cash on him and $100,000 worth of jewelry. That is where, and I'm going to say this, and people are going, this is where you cannot give poor people money and they do stupid shit. There is no reason for anybody to be walking around with $100,000 worth of freaking jewelry and $80,000 cash or vice versa, whatever it was. Where do you need $80,000 cash at?
You don't, but they like to, and I better watch what I say here, but they, I guess they want to flaunt around and show off and that sort of thing. But I don't know. I don't get it, man. That stuff doesn't compute to me.
No, Floyd Mayweather's broke. The guy used to carry a duffel bag around with $1 million everywhere he'd go. He bought a watch at some place in Caesar's Palace at the Forum Shops for $250,000. Wrote a check. If Floyd Mayweather wrote you a check for $250,000, would you think anything about it not being good? The guy made $100 million in a career. You'd think no problem at all. It bounced, and they're still dribbling that son of a bitch. They filed charges on him the other day for $250,000. Wow. He don't have money. They just canceled a fight of his. But how the fuck can you go through that kind of? It just blows my mind.
But that's happened a lot through the history of sports, man. Guys come out with a bunch of money, and then not long thereafter, dude, they're dead broke, man.
And the NFL has got so many classes for them guys. Now, you can't make a guy you shouldn't have to cut class to tell a guy you can't strangle and kidnap a guy and pistol beat him. I mean, that's just stupidity.
Right.
But they have classes for these guys all the time to go to. Listen, here's a guy right here who's going to tell you how Shaq tells a great story about his first check. He bought 3 houses, this, that, and he said, fuck, I was broke. And then, I couldn't wait till next year to get paid again. And then he said his dad got onto him about stuff. And then Charles Barkley tells a story about he was eating dinner with Grant Hill and Calvin Hill. Grant Hill's dad was an ex-Cowboy football player. And he was having dinner with Grant Hill. And Miss Hill said, we got to hurry up and go. We got to take a plane back to Dallas. We got to get to work tomorrow. And Charles Barkley's like, you got to go to work tomorrow. Your son just signed a $100 million contract and you got to go to work. And he said, Miss Hill said, listen here, Charles. She goes, I want you to listen to me. She goes, don't let deadbeats in your family and your friends cost you and lose everything you've busted your ass off for. He said, she said ass too. He said, she got on his ass about stuff. And he realized right then and there that you don't, she said, you got to take care of that money. It's not going to be coming forever. She goes, that's Calvin's money, not me, or Grant's money, not me and Calvin's money. But
I think a lot of that stuff, man, has stemmed from, where people come from. A lot of these guys that do well in professional sports, they don't come from much of anything. And that's one of the things that makes them so great at their profession, at their craft, is because they are truly hungry. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. And then the second thing, man, is like we're never taught, like in schools or anything, how to manage money. Like it's something that is untaught, unlearned, and you really don't know unless you have the proper guidance. And I imagine someone that's, somewhere between the ages of 18 to 25 years old, they're just putting their trust and faith into an adult that they look up to. And sometimes it works out for them and sometimes it doesn't. As far as managing their money goes. But yeah, man, that's sad. Sad stuff.
Allen Iverson was flat broke 10 years ago, but whenever he did his contract, his agents and stuff, he got one of those Bobby Bonilla deals where now he's getting a check for $1 million or $2 million a year for the next 20 years, deferred payments. Well, he was bumming hot dogs off the side outside of the Spectrum trying to get into Philadelphia Sixers game, and now he's making $1 million or $2 million a year, I was told. But it just it's crazy, the money. But my God, when you get that kind of money, I mean, I'm talking when you're making what Dak Prescott's going to make $60 million this year. I mean, that's just that right there. One check.
Go dominate, Jeff.
Oh, I agree with you on that. But his interest after taxes, he's going to get about $35 million probably. But shit, just putting that up someone's going to give him 10% on that money. That kind of money. He'll be making $250,000 a month for the rest of his life just off this year's checks.
Yeah, he's probably going to be okay, man. He's not going to end up in a cardboard box under the overpass like I am when all this stuff's said and done.
But I would have never thought Floyd Mayweather would have been either.
No, me either. Me either. That's wild.
So at like practices and stuff, whenever you were, if you had to go against like that kid that was on the bubble of making it, was he like a pain in the ass? Cause like he's just going to go out and be a fucking wrecking ball during like drills and shit.
Not really, man.
No,
Not really. That during that time, though, Andy, like, and I don't know how they can cut these kids now, but really anymore, or back then, and you got to remember, I graduated from A&M in '08.
yeah.
But back then, dude, really the only way you were getting cut off the team if you were one of the kids on scholarship, one of those 85, is if like you didn't make grades, you had a lot of off the field issues, you ended up arrested, stuff like that, man. It wasn't so much performance based because there was a lot of, not a lot, but there was a few of them that I played with that never really saw the field their entire career, but they remained on scholarship. They got an education and they were able to move on. But I tell you, the ones that a lot of times would give you the biggest fits were the rookies. The kids that had just got there, some new walk-on, something like that, because they'd be one of them, practice first team All-American types that would be out there trying to showcase their talent and ability, trying to be the next Rudy Rudiger or something like that.
Did you
Practice heroes is what we called them.
Did you cross time frames with Von Miller?
Yeah. I think Vaughn was there my last 2 years, I believe.
Was he hell on practice to play against?
Mm-hmm. You got to remember when I think I'm right on this. I don't want to misspeak, but I think I'm right. When A&M recruited him, they recruited him as either a safety or an outside linebacker, I think.
Jesus.
And when Vaughn came in, he was the same height, I guess, that he is today, but he was like a little pipsqueak, man. There wasn't too much to him, but he was lightning fast. And they would put him like on scout team his first year at A&M, and he'd be out there on the outside, playing a wide technique, like a 9 technique, and just pass rushing the quarterback. Well, he didn't have to have any kind of moves. I mean, because he'd just run around you. You couldn't touch him. He was too fast. And that's what made Vaughn so good was his speed on the outside. And what a career he had.
And I guess how much weight did they put on him?
I think Vaughn was always kind of sort of maybe an undersized defensive end, because when I would watch him play, I don't think, was he ever really above 250, 255?
I doubt he saw 260 ever.
Yeah, I don't think he ever saw it. He looked always undersized to me, but man, he made up for it in his speed, his moves. I mean, the way he could bend. I mean, he had a lot of get up and go now.
I bet 6'5", 235, somewhere around that frame.
250 is what it says.
So 6'5", 250?
They would drop him back some too, wouldn't he? Or he would play like an outside linebacker. He wouldn't always put his hand in the dirt, would he?
I can see how many interceptions he had. But, 6'3", 250.
That's about right.
Let's see here. 2-time Super Bowl champ, fucking Super Bowl MVP, Rookie of the Year, All-Pro 3 times.
Oh, dude, he was something, man.
Pro Bowl 8 times.
Yeah.
I think he was the second overall pick in the draft when he come out, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Shit, he might have been.
Say he was number 2.
I thought he was number 1.
Yeah, he played.
Myles Garrett, when he came out a couple years after Vaughn, I think, 2 or 3 years after Vaughn, Garrett was the number 1 overall.
Yeah, Vaughn's got a couple interceptions, so he played in coverage.
Yeah.
What does it say when he was drafted? I know he was a first-round pick. I thought he was the number 1 guy.
It would have been somewhere around 2010 to 2012.
What pick was he?
He entered the 2011 draft. Okay, he was projected to be a second rounder in the 2010 draft. He passed and played his senior year, and then he entered in 2011. Where does it say? He was a top. Well, get to it. Get to it, motherfucker.
That picture on the right, don't show it. The down below. Keep going. Keep going. On the right, that picture right there with him.
It just says Miller at the 2011 draft. Oh, he was second overall by the Denver Broncos.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah. He was highest selected linebacker since LeVar Arrington. Wonder who went before him. I could probably look that.
Remember old Leaping LeVar? He was the one that got all that stuff kind of ex-nay where you couldn't jump over people anymore on that extra point field goal kick when he was at Penn State.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Who was drafted ahead of him?
I'm looking that up.
It's got to be a quarterback or that Eric Fisher. Because the Chiefs.
Eric Fisher, he was the offensive lineman.
Yeah, Chiefs took him number one. Cam Newton was number one.
Cam Newton went number one.
Well, and he beat Cam in the Super Bowl. I think Eric Fisher was a number one pick, the first player taken in the draft out of Eastern Michigan.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure he was the number one.
Did he go to Kansas City?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he was the number one.
Cam Newton, Von Miller, Marcel Darius. He was a defensive tackle. AJ Green, Patrick Peterson, Julio Jones, Alden Smith, who just died.
That's quite the draft class.
It was the top 7 right there. And then Jake Locker, Tyrone Smith went number 9. He's a fucking beast.
Was he offensive tackle for the Cowboys?
Yeah, that guy. J.J. Watt went 11.
Wow.
It's a good draft.
Quite the...
draft.
This is the 2013 draft, and you can compare it now. Eric Fisher was the first player taken. The second player taken was an Aggie. Luke Jokel was second.
Yeah.
Deion Jordan was third. Lane Johnson for Philly, hell of a player. That's 3 offensive tackles. Fisher, Jokel, and Lane Johnson all went in the top 4.
Yeah, Lane Johnson was one of the best offensive tackles in the league there for a stretch.
Yeah.
So he was definitely in the conversation anyway. But when that Jokel kid got drafted that year, Jeff, he was a first rounder. That was kind of A&M went on a 3 or 4 year stretch there where they had offensive linemen drafted in the first round in consecutive years. I think Jokel started it. The next year was the Matthews boy who's still playing at Atlanta, I think. And then they had a kid the following year who might have been like towards the end of the first round who went to Seattle. I cannot remember his name, but they had a few first rounders in a row there.
They've put a lot of guys in the league. It's a hell of a program. There's no doubt about it.
And we had the second most kids drafted last year. Or in this last draft, I guess I should say. We were second to Ohio State, if I believe.
And I bet Tech was third.
Really?
They had 8 kids taken in the first 3 rounds last year.
Well, that oil money is showing through up there in Lubbock, dude, because who the hell would want to go to school there?
They just had the kid out of Denton Geyer, the number 1 defensive tackle, just committed to them.
Oil money, baby.
Really?
Yeah, why would you turn down that money?
Probably because they're academics, I'm sure. That has nothing to do with the money.
Yeah. Lubbock is a town now of almost 300,000. Just Lubbock, not counting the suburbs.
Really?
Right there. It's getting big. It's bigger than Amarillo.
Wow.
It's really grown in the last 10 years.
I bet it's eating up some of that goose ground around town, too.
I think a lot of it.
Probably so. Well, that and all these fucking data centers that are popping up, I don't know.
Are they putting a bunch of them out there?
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. We're going to have 3 in our area within about 30 miles.
Do they have any pushback on that? Because I know people get bothered about that. No.
There's a meme going around, don't talk about politics, God, religion, or data centers at your next family gathering.
You would be better off to bring a Muslim to Christmas dinner than to talk about a data center. It's that bad. I'm telling you right now. And speaking of, have you heard of the new movie called City of the Vigilante, I think's the name of it. Have you seen that?
No, sir.
No.
Citizen Vigilante is the name of it. It's a movie that just came out. I watched it last night on Amazon Prime. It's banned and outlawed in Europe. It's about a guy who's in the military. He was a special forces guy. He lives somewhere in Europe, and I never did catch what country he's in. But he comes back. He's a wealthy kid. His dad died. And he takes over all his dad's businesses. And the 6 Muslim kids raped a little 14-year-old Christian girl, and the courts let him go. They apologize. They're sorry. They don't understand our ways over here, and they let him go. This guy become a vigilante, and he shut down a lot of shit and was killing people and stuff. They banned it over there because everything that they talked about in this movie is the shit that's going on in Europe that's coming to New York City now.
I was about to say, man, look how bad it is over there, right?
And one of the things was this guy owned a bunch of buildings and said, we've got to do something on the buildings to pass inspections. He goes, what do you mean pass inspections? He said, well, people aren't paying their rent. He said, well, you kick them out. He goes, well, if we kick them out, we won't pass our inspections. He goes, well, bullshit, kick them out. Well, the government will take our license away, and then they'll take over the deal, and they'll just put immigrants in these buildings. That wouldn't have been in the movie if that shit wasn't happening over there.
Mm-hmm.
But they banned that movie in all of Europe for a reason. And Elon Musk is putting it on X now, besides on Amazon Prime, so everybody over there can watch it. But it is a really good. It's one of them movies. When it ended, I wish it would have went 2 more hours.
Huh.
But
What was it called again?
Citizen Vigilante, and it's on Amazon Prime. And I would highly recommend everybody in the United States of America needs to watch that and start paying attention. What's going on in New York City is going to be what's happening in London and all them places, and it's horrible.
It's bad, man.
Yeah, and everybody just ignores it over here. It's crazy when you watch all these Europeans coming over here for the soccer talking about how much freedoms we have over here. Showed one guy, and I don't know where he was at. He was in a Walmart, but he could buy liquor and bullets on the same aisle.
Right.
And he's like, God, you got to love America. Look, I can buy bourbon right there, and I can buy bullets and ammo right here for my gun. And I thought,
That's what we
don't think it can ever happen to us, Jeff, until it does happen to us. I think we just kind of walk around with that belief until it's too late.
Yeah, if you watch an old World War II movie of like Air Raid over London or whatever those ones are, where they're filmed basically in London with all the Spitfires and all the shit those people went through. Those people were a lot like we are now. And in 40, 50, 60 years, they've lost all their freedoms completely. And now this week, Prince Charles no longer is head of the Church of England. He is the head of all faith in England now. So it's not just the Church of England, it's Muslim stuff now. They're incorporating all that shit. It's just crazy. I mean, it's nuts.
Hey, so you recently got back from Oregon. Did you talk to it? So they've got the ban of hunting. It's going to be on the ballot in November. Was anybody talking about that out there?
That was a big conversation, man. And hey, let me preface all this with this. Have you ever been to Oregon?
Yes.
You ever seen it?
Yes, it's gorgeous.
Oregon is beautiful, man. So like after we were done, I was out there. I'm part of the Gunners Committee with the that shoots at all the nationals, and this was the national amateur. Was held in Junction City in Cresswell, Oregon, right around the Eugene area. After the national was over, my girlfriend and I, Amber, we spent a few days and we dipped down into Northern California. We walked through the redwoods. We spent some time on the coast, yada, yada, yada. Beautiful place. But the people, man, out there, there's some regular folks, sure, but dude, I think I saw every single color of dyed hair imaginable out there. About every third chick's got a septum ring. All them jailhouse tats all over everybody. But no, dude, that was definitely a topic of conversation there, especially at the field trial, because part of the field trial game is that we shoot flyers.
Right.
Okay. Live birds that are hand thrown, that are shot. Those are mallard ducks, hen, and rooster pheasant. And like if that deal passed, that would go away. Mm-hmm. And no, that was definitely talked about while we were there. And honest to God, I didn't know much about it until I was out there for the national.
Yeah, like they needed a certain amount of signatures. They blew past however many signatures they needed. So it's going to be on the ballot for the general public to vote on in November. Jeff really thinks that it passes.
Oh, yeah. The Democrats are going to pass that shit. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
But like that's going to be everything. Like it goes even into agriculture. Like you can't kill cows. You can't kill pigs. It is no animal dies in the state of Oregon anymore. Nothing. It goes way beyond hunting and fishing.
But what are them yuppies going to do, man, when they walk into their local grocery store and that meat, and, their only thought process is, hey, I don't know where this meat comes from, but there it is laying in the cooler with, some wrapper around it or whatever, and I buy it by the pound, and that's it. They have no clue where that stuff comes from, the work it takes, the people that put their blood, sweat, and tears into it, and that's sad, dude. That's sad.
They're gonna buy some processed broccoli tofu hamburger shit that Bill Gates is shoving down their throat. There's no telling what's in it, but they think it's healthy for them. There is nothing dumber than a freaking white liberal. In Oregon, it's got a shitload of white liberals.
It's got a couple, man. It's got a couple.
They are the dumbest creatures walking on earth right now. I'm telling you right now, they would vote against their own personal rights every day. They're just stupid. I don't even know if they got white guilt. I don't even know what it is. They're just dumb. But something to do with fucking hair, that hair color shit. If you put pink and blue in your hair, it must suck out your brain cells faster than freaking methamphetamines.
It's everywhere, dude. And I saw I don't even know what you label them people as. I guess whenever they're filling out something, like for a job application at McDonald's or whatever, and it asks them for their sex, and I guess they would fill in other, because I didn't know what the hell I was looking at a few times through there. And I tell people this all the time, or when we're making jokes about Walmart, the craziest Walmart I've ever walked through is the one on Galveston Island late in the evening. Okay. It's like a circus in there until in the middle of the day, I walked through a Walmart in Eugene, Oregon. Yeah. That beat the hell out of the one in Galveston, dude. It was, the stuff I saw in there was pretty damn wild.
And we've talked to people from Oregon, like hunters, like it is a mecca for waterfowl. Like it's got great duck hunting, great goose hunting. Like it's a really special place.
Elk hunting, bear hunting. I mean, it's a great outdoors
Dude, they got all
place.
kinds of stuff out there. Blacktail. I mean, the fishing off the coast I hear is really good. It's a gorgeous area. And hey, man, I met a lot of great people out there. The 2 weeks I was out there, I really, really did. But and I'd never been anywhere out there really. I've been on the West Coast one time years ago. We played a bowl game out there down in San Diego. But outside of that, I'd never been on the West Coast and never really spent any time there. And man, what a beautiful, beautiful place they have. Just the people. I was shocked by it.
It's crazy when you're like in the redwood forest, like Sacramento, and you go north. Mm-hmm. You might as well be in Texas. That's right. The people there's more rednecks in the redwood forest of California than there is in West Virginia. I mean, I'm telling you, some backwoods country fucks there, big time. And you get along the coast, and you pop out right on the board. You get out of it, and you get right along the beach, getting into Brookings, Oregon, and all of a sudden you're right into liberal America again. I mean, homeless people everywhere. It goes right back to the same shit. I saw a dispensary there, and I think it was in California, but it might have been in Oregon, that had a smoking room. Now, I've traveled a lot, and I see dispensaries all over. I've never seen one that had a smoking room. And maybe that's normal. I don't know. I've never been in one other than in Michigan to get some sleep gummies. But they had a smoking room. Can you imagine the people that were stranded outside of that son of a bitch standing on the corner right there? No, I mean, a bunch of fucking zombies.
Hey, and I want to say, and Andy, you can Google check me or whatever, fact check me. But I think Oregon, once upon a time, and not too long ago, okay, like you could have, like, let's say up to an ounce of hard drugs on your person.
I think you still can.
I'm talking about meth, cocaine, that kind of stuff.
I think you still can.
I think all drugs are legal in Oregon. But no, I do think that you're right. I think I know for a while, I don't know if it's still that way, but I know for a while, like everything was totally legal.
As long as it was for personal, as long as you had enough for personal use, I think is what it was maybe.
Like, now I flew into Portland and out of Portland, okay? And that's about all the time I spent in Portland. I heard too many stories about it. I avoided it like the plague. But when all that COVID stuff was going down, didn't they like take over the city of Portland for a bit, for like 2-3 weeks? And that's when all that defund the police thing was going on and all that.
Shit, I think it lasted 2 or 3 years.
It was Chaz,
Chaz
wasn't it?
in Seattle. I went to Chaz. Me and Michelle was in Seattle.
Chaz, that's right. Yeah.
So I told Michelle, I said, we got to go to Chaz. She goes, you serious? I said, fuck yeah. We can't pass up an opportunity to not see this shit. So I had to drive down there to see this crap. And they had all boarded up and segregated and shit. And Seattle's another lost cause. What a beautiful state. And I've got so many friends in Washington State and Oregon that are good people. And they're just trapped, just like all my friends in upstate New York. My friends that live in upstate New York, they are ruled by what happens in New York City. I asked a guy, I was in Sodas Point a couple of years ago, and I was talking to a guy at this cafe we did breakfast at, and just the nicest guy. I go, everybody up here is just like we are in Texas. I go, why do y'all keep voting blue? He goes, for us to switch over to be a Republican, a red state, he said, we would have to vote about 95% of everybody outside of New York City would have to vote Republican for us to win. Because the numbers are that far lopsided because just of what's happening in New York City proper.
Area.
Yep.
Yeah.
They recriminalized the drugs September 1, 2024.
So it wasn't that long ago, but you could have like meth and I mean the
Everything.
hard stuff, whatever.
Whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah,
wanted, as long as it was like personal use, as long as it was like personal use, that amount, whatever that amount is.
You don't think they were doing any of that stuff in Chaz, were you?
Fuck.
You don't think?
Oh, we were at Pike's Market. Andy and them was with us on this trip, and the grandkids were there. And a guy comes walking by Pike's Market, the big tourist area where everybody goes in Seattle,
Yeah,
and his ass didn't have no pants on, bare ass, just walking, old balls everywhere you go, just walking right down the street. I mean, it just, and nobody thought nothing of it, you know. Where I grew up in Wichita Falls, somebody doing that, somebody's going to tackle his ass and arrest him.
I was about to say, we're calling 911 because, hey, man, we got this pantless dude pinned down right here. Come get this freak off the street.
Yeah, he's just walking down the street like nobody's fucking business.
Is that the place where they throw the fish,
Yes.
Jeff? Is that Pike's Market?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, have you been there ever?
Never.
I highly
No.
recommend to go. If you ever go to Seattle, you need to go see it. It's really
I flew into Seattle one time, but I mean, dude, I stayed in the airport waiting on a flight. But yeah, never been around.
Pike's Market, but Seattle's a beautiful place. Beautiful. Portland's pretty. But and you get outside of the Portland proper, and those people are just as nice as could be, but they're surrounded.
Oh, yeah,
But
sure.
Oregon is
Yeah.
going to be no hunting, probably starting in November, or I'm sure it'll pass in November and it'll go into effect January 1st. So if you're a waterfowl hunter in Oregon, this might be your last year you get a waterfowl hunting at home.
What a sad deal
Yeah.
that is, man.
And if it's happening in Oregon, Washington
It can
State,
happen everywhere else too.
and
though.
California will probably
Sure.
be next. I don't think you're going to pass it in a lot of Midwest states because there's still they're two red states still, and there's some blue states like Michigan where people still hunt a lot. But Washington and California have got such a lopsided proportion of liberals that California could be next.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't be shocked. I don't know. What about Minnesota too, man? I mean, they got some stuff going on up there too now. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but they were really close to flipping red. Kamala only
Oh,
won.
were they?
Kamala only won by like 10 or 12,000 votes, and there's like 560,000 Somalians voted the day of the election. I mean, registered the day. You could vouch in Minnesota. You can vouch for 7 people. So if you go in and you bring Muhammad and Kiefer and Boo Boo and everybody else with you, you can say, those are my neighbors. They live here. They live, they're Minnesota residents. They live here. Oh, okay. And they can vote.
And they can vote.
Yep. No IDs, no nothing. And that was allowed this last election in Minnesota. That's why we need to pass this SAVE Act. But yeah, Minnesota could be one. I just don't see it. But I see California being next on this list. I really do. And maybe Washington State. Can you imagine if California, Oregon, and Washington State no hunt no more?
That would suck.
I mean, it's just, I feel so sorry for those people. And
I do too.
and those are big Western states, or being in the ranching and cattle business. California's got tons of ranches. And Oregon does. Those people that we had a guy on the other day that was our Oregon public hunter. He worked for a cattle ranch up there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wonder.
we saw lots of
I wonder
cattle
if you can
while we were
raise
there,
your.
lots of that.
I wonder if you'd be able to raise your cattle and then ship them somewhere else to where they'd be slaughtered.
Maybe. I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, who knows with that state?
I mean, as long as they're not dying in Oregon. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into the weeds on it, but how far are you in where you're at in Texas from like Corpus Christi? Because they're going through a bad drought I just saw today.
I live on the east side of Houston. Well, that's where my mail goes, I guess. And
Yeah.
I don't spend too much time there anymore. But from my house down to Corpus, man, I don't know. I'm going to say 3 hours, 3.5 ish,
Oh, okay.
roughly.
Okay. Well, they're saying like
But
Corpus
they're in a bad
residents.
drought, I hear.
Yeah, they're saying like they're going to start cutting people like no drinking water and all sorts of shit. It's just crazy that 2026 we can't figure out desalination. You got the fucking ocean out there, endless water. Figure out how to desalinate that shit. And
All
make it
those rivers
drinkable.
that dump into bays and all that stuff. Yeah, man, we cannot figure it out. Yeah.
Where do you fish at down there?
Well, when I was still fishing, I was mostly fishing in Galveston Bay, but we would, because I live right there. And I'm 5 minutes from a boat ramp that would dump you into Trinity, which is the furthest north bay complex in the Galveston Bay system. But man, we would also make trips every year. I go to Matagorda. We would do Port Mansfield, which is, I love Mansfield, one of my favorite stops. We would We did several trips to Big Lake or Lake Calcasieu in Louisiana. We went all over, but man, I kind of stopped that cold turkey when I got into the field trial game about 4 years ago, and I don't really miss it
No.
at all.
Port
No.
Mansfield, they're going to ruin that when they put that other bridge on over.
Are they doing something down there?
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything about it.
they're going to expand. They're going to do a north bridge for South Padre. They're going to do a bridge that
my
goes in
God,
Port
are you
Mansfield. Yep,
serious?
and that'll ruin that whole ecosystem over there. We'll screw it up.
I've never been.
Have you
there.
ever driven down Penn's Padre Island National Seashore?
What-
You ever
yeah.
done that?
Yeah, I've been all of that stuff. My favorite drive in Texas is the drive from Kingsville to Raymondsville along that
Isn't it
King
cool?
Ranch. Yeah, just
Yes.
people just have
Yeah.
no idea that kind of country, what it's like. And you got nail guy running everywhere, you 180-inch bucks everywhere, and when it's wet down there, all the ducks and the waterfowl. It's just an amazing
Yes, it
amazing
is.
place.
It's a cool place, man. That was always one of my anywhere when you start getting south of the JFK Causeway, but that stretch of our coast from there all the way down to the bottom, man, that is my most favorite stretch of our coast. It's awesome. It's beautiful. The fishing is consistently good. The hunt, I mean, you got everything you could ever want down there from an outdoorsman standpoint, and the hunting and fishing side of things.
Where else in America can you find 70 miles of barren coastland like you can find when you get north of South Padre Island about 5 miles, because you get to the point where they've quit taking care of the roads. The dust is the dirt's covered up the stuff right there past the Hilton Garden Inn, just north of that a little bit. From there all the way to the Mansfield Cut, and then you get to the Mansfield Cut, you go another north 50 miles, and there's nothing there. There's nowhere
nothing.
else in the United States like that anymore. Every beach in the country's got houses and shit put on it. Everywhere.
Right. That's right. It's
Now-
a special place.
Yeah,
man.
it's kind of like Venice, Louisiana. There's no place like Venice, Louisiana that I've ever been to in America. You know,
I've never been there. I've never made a trip there.
it's well worth it to see. It's kind of like the Columbia River Basin outside of what's that town called where the Goonies was filmed?
Astoria.
Astoria, Oregon.
Astoria, that's right.
That is a beautiful place right there. I think it's Desperate Point or Cape Desperation or something. That is another area that hopefully we don't overgrow and we let nature just run it for its course for a long time. That's a scary
Yeah,
ass river.
we wanted to make it up there on that last trip, but we didn't. We kind of got caught up in Cannon Beach. I know it's kind of
that's cool.
but it was a cool area, man. And we spent an extra day there, and we didn't make it quite to Astoria.
That's where they did the Goonies, isn't it? And that's
both
where the
of them.
rocks were?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
Rocks
got that rock over there that everybody takes 1 million pictures of every day. It's called the Haystack, I think.
Yeah, the
that
Haystack.
rock's
Yep.
called.
The
Yeah,
Haystack.
yeah.
We got a nice family picture of us sitting up on the hillside right there looking back.
We got to get that picture by the rocks,
Yep.
man.
That's only 20 miles, I think, from Astoria to about there, isn't it? It's only like 20
Yeah,
or
it's
30
not
minutes.
far. Man. It's not far.
We went into a freaking pizza place in Astoria, and it was about the third year we'd had a podcast. We were just finally starting to get some traction, and we walked in, and a lady goes, "My husband listens to y'all all the time," was our waitress at a little joint. And
Really?
I think this pizza place might have been called the Haystack also, but it was right there at Cannon Beach and that. But that's a very unique area, but that's a beautiful drive from there all the way down to Los Angeles.
Taking Highway 101
Yeah.
all through there, that drive is beautiful. There's a lot of twists and turns in it. You go through small towns, but man, the shots you get of the coastline, you drive through a bunch of trees, you see a bunch of the big ones too at times, and it's a cool drive.
What's sad is if you watch anything, a movie that was made in the 60s, a lot of old Clint Eastwood movies, he filmed them around Carmel, like Play Me Misty and stuff. And you look at it, what it was like in 1968 to 75 compared to today. That's what scares me about the Texas coast with this doing the South Padre Island deal. It was all open, pretty, a lot of nature there. And now it's got a freaking house built any place they can put one. And they're just
Hopefully they keep that Padre Island National Seashore. Hopefully they keep it as pristine as possible, bridge or not, man. That's a special place. I hope we don't ruin it.
yeah, that's what scares me about that Mansfield deal.
Yeah.
So what's going on in Canada now? Because I've heard a lot of guys say they are having hell getting their work visas and stuff. Was any difference this year for y'all than it has been in the past?
At Canada, the last I'm gonna say 3 or 4 years, they the immigration side of things, they've added another little nuance to it, just another little piece of red tape that you got to cut through, man. And this year is no different, Jeff. There was I heard of several horror stories of the guys that go up there for the spring snow goose season, especially like in April and May, trying to guys get guys across. I am still waiting on approval for my American employees for their work visas, which it's taken a little longer this year than normal, man. And there was just a couple extra things on it, but I am hopeful. I know that there have been some that have been approved this year, and hopefully my guys are all in the clear and everything's all right on that. But dude, it's just every year, Jeff, it's just more red tape BS you got to cut through on getting an American across. They're just making it a little more difficult every single season for us to get guys through. And hey, I would have no issue hiring a Canadian to come and help us out, either guiding, running a hunt or scouting or something like that. But dude, to find one it's difficult, man, at best.
I had a Canadian reach out to me 2 weeks ago if I knew anybody looking for a job.
Is that right?
He was looking for an American because he couldn't find nobody up there. What's the guy's name at Heartland that we had on the podcast? Ronnie, is that his name?
Yes.
He told us that he had went, I think it was 2 falls ago, and got across, and then went back in the spring. It wasn't this spring, it was the spring before, and the same guy, and they wouldn't let him across. And he was filming a documentary for the Saskatchewan, however the hell you say it, Chamber of Commerce or a tourism board or something. He was working for them in Canada, and they wouldn't even let him cross to go in there in the spring to hunt.
Was he just hunting, or what was he doing? Was he trying to film?
He was getting paid by the tourism board.
By whatever tourism board Saskatchewan has. They had hired him to go up, film his hunting show, highlight, all the wonders of Saskatchewan. And for whatever reason, the same guy that stamped his passport in the fall wouldn't stamp it in the spring because he was working, I guess, even though he was working for the Canadian government. It was a weird deal.
Yeah.
That is weird, man.
I mean, you think
they would have all their stuff straight at the border,
yeah,
and he would just get through, but y'all been up there. Y'all know. I mean, a lot of it depends on when you pull your old truck up there to the border on who you're dealing with in that moment.
Yeah.
Well, I don't ever want to go back again and have to drive. I'm telling you right now, I do not want to do that, especially if Andy's with me, because Andy's on their no-fly zone list or something. So they give him an anal search and everything every time we go. And so
they used lube last time, so it wasn't as bad.
Did they?
First couple times, no lube, no spit, no
They
nothing.
go glove, dude, or no gloves?
The first couple times, no glove, but recently
they raw dogged it.
They raw dogged it, but recently they're putting a glove on and lubing up.
In a 7-day span or a 10-day span, we go fly into Winnipeg, then to Saskatchewan, and then we go across the bridge at upstate New York. So 3 different crossings in a 7 or 10 day period. And so I was really worried the last time we were going to get sent back home, but it worked out good for us. But
that's good.
Are
y'all going up there this fall?
No. But we're too busy around here. But I feel so sorry for everybody involved, because you're just at the discretion. If that guy's an asshole or that lady's an asshole, if she's an anti-hunter or he's an anti-hunter, you're going to have a hell of a time getting across that border. And I'm assuming the fishing guys deal with the same shit.
I guess so, man. I don't really know too much about that industry up there. How many Americans are really going up and guiding or working or what have you? I really don't know.
I don't know how
the hunting side of things, man. It's iffy right now. It really is.
Yeah, on the fishing side, I don't know how many Americans are guiding up there fishing, but there's a ton of Americans that go up there and go fishing.
Oh, a ton of them.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
And I don't know how that's all going to work out.
Man, like when we're not hunting or fishing, so maybe it's a little bit easier. We're just hopping over for the day. But like where I'm heading to spend the month of July to train or whatever, we're in International Falls, Minnesota. It's a border town.
Yeah,
there with Ontario, and there's a couple good restaurants there in Fort Francis, and we'll hop across the Ford dealerships over there. I have some work done. I'll hop over there, and I never have an issue going back across, and knock on wood or whatever. But man, recently, like I haven't had an issue crossing the border in a long, long time. I really have been. I've been in the system for a while. Got all my stuff straight typically whenever I pull up there, and it's been easy. But getting my employees across, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little worried about it, man. I think we all are. Anybody that has a business up there that's trying to do what I'm doing up there, which there's a bunch of us now anymore, but yeah, who knows how it goes.
Do you give your employees a pep talk like before they cross? Like, okay,
don't say this.
This is what you need to. This is how you need to approach them.
I do this with everybody, man. I'm like, look, whenever you pull up to the border, you're flying in to come hunt with me or whatever. Just don't sit there and try to crack jokes. Don't be the funny guy. It's just yes or no, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Do whatever they ask. Be upfront, truthful. Don't hide anything from them, and you'll be okay.
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
What? Do you go to Ely very often?
To where?
Ely, Minnesota.
No, never even heard of it.
It's west of International Falls, about an hour. It's a pretty cool area. It's a Boundary Waters. It's a fishing area and stuff. It's a really neat area.
Now, the first year I went up there, Jeff, to that part of Minnesota, we stayed in, what's the name of it? Baudette. It's right up against a rainy river. It's to the west. It's not far from Lake of the Woods or whatever. But I don't know the spot you're talking of.
Yeah, Ely is right up on the border. It's like west of International Falls. Or east of International Falls, I'm sorry.
Oh, east of there.
Yeah.
I got it.
So what are you doing up there for the month? You taking dogs, or you're just helping?
Field trial. I'll go up there and train and run some trials. We're actually running one this weekend. But man, I'll run. So we'll run this weekend. We're off next, and then I'll run the next 3 after that, and then I gotta go to work so I can give all my pro trainers all the money that I make to keep pushing my dogs on and through. But we're having fun with it. Last year had some success. This spring, I kind of been getting my teeth kicked in, if you want to know the truth. But one thing I've learned about this dog game is that if you're not okay with failure, this ain't for you, because it is a very humbling sport, man. And in the end, we're dealing with dogs, and you never know how they're going to I mean, they're dogs. You might have one win a field trial one weekend, and then the very next weekend can't pick up the first mark that they threw out there for them. That's just the way it goes, and we're human too, and we make mistakes ourselves. So, but it's fun. I'm competitive by nature. Obviously, the people I've met along the way, for the most part, have been really, really good, and then I get to see stuff I've never seen before, travel to places I never thought I would travel to, like us being out in Oregon last week, and no, man, just having fun with it.
How was your shooting at this event last week in Oregon?
Well, good, man. I'm trying to remember. I think we had one no bird. A no bird is where the bird wasn't shot well enough, but hell, you got a human that's throwing live birds, and it was on a hen pheasant, and it went just a little bit left. Those judges can be particular at times, and they wanted to fall in this specific area, and if you're throwing something that's already dead, what the hell, you can do it all the time, but throwing something that's alive, especially a hen pheasant, which they're wild to begin with, that can be a tall order. But man, for the most part, it went pretty smooth for us.
I would be so in my fucking head. How far is the shot you got to make?
Oh, not far, dude. I mean, sometimes they want the flyers shot pretty quick and for them to be close, and sometimes, man, they want you to let them ride a little bit, and what's really cool is when you're like last summer, we didn't have this situation out in Crestwell or Junction City last week, but last summer when we were in Mondovi, Wisconsin, I don't know if you've ever been there, but that country has a lot of big roll to it in its topography, and man, a lot of them flyers we would shoot, you'd be on top of a hill throwing that hen pheasant or that rooster pheasant down, and the flyers were beautiful, man. They rode forever. That was some cool country to run a dog and watch some of the best dogs in the world run, and it was some of them, dude, they'd end up a good 30-40 yards from where we were, if not further down the bottom of that hill.
I think I'd be okay inside of 30. I'd be inside my fucking head.
It's very simple.
I'd be inside my head.
Easier said than done too, though, man. It's not just me and you shooting in an old blind, Andy. You call them pull on a clay bird or something like that. I mean, this is the national, by the way. This is like the Super Bowl for retriever field trials. And, you're in one flyer station. There's a lot of times they'll have multiple flyers out. There's 2 other dead bird stations. You got the panel of judges, the marshals, all the different handlers lined up, and all the home blinds getting ready to run. You got the gallery of people up there watching you. So there's a little bit of pressure to it, but it's fun, man. It really is fun.
How many dogs were qualified?
There was I want to say, and this is roundabout numbers now, but there was roughly 140 qualified. Okay. And I think they had either 86 or 88 show up. And I think largely that was due to the fact that it was so far out on the West Coast this year that a lot of guys, especially like the East Coast guys, didn't want to drive all the way across the country or fly out there or what have you. But I was actually, and we talked about this quite a bit while we were out there last week. I mean, I was shocked at the lack of people that entered the national, man, because that's not a given. It's a very hard thing to qualify for. You don't know how many you're going to get with your dog. And it's like I tell people all the time, dude, I don't care if they put that thing on Pluto. I'm going to figure out a way to get there if my dog ever qualifies for it.
Do you have to have 10 points to qualify?
You have to have 7, 5 of which come from a win.
10 makes you a field champion, right?
10, I think it's 10 makes you a field champion. 15 makes you an amateur field champion, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Could be a little off on that.
I never went to nationals. My dad used to go every year and work them and did that stuff, and he played in that game a lot. But 88 dogs in an all-age open dog, that's one day to run one test.
Oh, the national, yes, it was the very first day, in kind of a traditional thing with the national there. They did a double and a blind, and with the dogs that were entered, I know there were a few scratches along the way, so I don't really remember the exact number of dogs that started, but that first and second, combined series, that took all day for sure. Then the next day we went into the third series. I think they dropped, let's say 10 or 12 dogs after the first. After the first and second, we go into the third. That took all of the next day plus a part of the next morning to get through. We threw a kind of a land water. They threw a kind of a land water triple. And man, it takes time. But that national, there's 10 series in it, and it takes a week to get through. Saturday to Saturday.
It's a long time. I didn't even like going to field trials. They took too damn long.
Oh, dude, it's like watching. If you ain't running a dog, if you ain't got a bullet in it, it's like watching paint dry all the time.
I'm telling you, derbies weren't so bad, but especially a water blind, like a really tough water blind, take 20 minutes per dog.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
How old were you when?
That's why a lot of people have gotten away from having big swims in the field trials, because some of the judges, on a particular weekend, they don't want to sit there and watch a dog swim for 15, 20 minutes.
No, it's long. How old was I?
Yeah.
I was probably 13 to.
Oh, okay.
Old enough to know I didn't like that shit.
You were ready.
I threw so many freaking dummies, and I threw so many dead birds at field trials. And I was in with a certain camp, and I knew the guy's a real guy. And there was a new guy that was a pro, and he was a real jackass that nobody liked. So I no-birded his ass like 3 times in one series on the same dog. And I could throw a dead duck a long freaking way.
That's a sure way to get brought out of the field, Jack. So if you don't like throwing or shooting, man, just have a few no birds in a row, and they'll find somebody else to fill.
I didn't have them in a row. It just when his dog was up.
Oh, when he was showing up,
they'd be like, "That's him." I'm not gonna say his name because I think he's still in that game. But
and then you throw them perfect for the guys that you liked.
Oh yeah, break a wing up, or it'd flip around a little bit and shit. And then I'd throw his over.
That may or may not still be going on.
Oh, it
today.
does. I promise you. But I could throw a dead duck, a long ass way, or a pheasant. And I'd always, you got to throw it 30 yards, and he's up there. I'd throw it some bitch 50 yards. Or if I was throwing the flyer up, I'd let one of them slip out and fly away right there when he was fixing to go. And I mean, I did him 3 times in one trial. He
What
was
a little prick.
Oh, I was. Boy, everybody, all the big group though.
God, it all makes sense now.
All the big pros out of Dallas Fort Worth sure loved me though. They all knew what was going on.
So he just rubbed everybody the wrong way, and here you are, 13 years old, like, fuck this guy?
Well, I had a lot of coaching, I'm sure.
Oh.
But he worked for one of the big pros in the Dallas area, and he had dicked him over on some shit, and so they were like,
shit just worked
they were
out.
like,
You know who that was? Well, I don't.
oh
you
yeah, I
don't-
know exactly who he was.
Don't say it. Don't say it here. But
I hunted with Cody, True Marks Cody, one of the best dogs of all time. I hunted with him. I hunted with Honcho.
okay.
I just it's funny.
How were them dogs in a hunting blind though? Iffy.
No, as well a disciplined dog as you'll ever have.
Sure.
But our old Beavis dog that we had that retrieved 40,000 birds in his day was a better hunting dog than that.
Oh, I
dog was.
believe that.
But,
sure.
But Beavis couldn't hold a candle to what that dog could do at 500 yards, and people have no idea how good of machines those field champion dogs are. Rough and Ready, Volwood's Rough and Ready was one of the best dogs in the 80s. Big size. John D. Simone, good friend of my dad's, owned Rough. I hunted with Rough a couple of times. Rough was a really good hunting dog. He was a good dog in the blind too. But
there's some of those dogs, and some of those dogs, some of the field trial dogs, some now, not very many, but there are some that hunt, and I'm sure they're fine or whatever. But man, you get around some of them trial dogs, Jeff. I wouldn't want to hunt them, especially because man, they're really vocal. Their steadiness is questionable. They wouldn't be much fun to hunt over, and that could possibly change, especially, the vocalization you might always have an issue with, but making a dog rock steady, you could definitely work on. But dude, you watch these dogs at a weekend trial, almost, blow a gasket or whatever, watching one single flyer get hand thrown and shot. Imagine if they're sitting there out in the field in a dog blind, okay? And they got 100 flyers coming right to them, coming to them. And, then you're shooting them at 15, 20, 25, 30 yards. Dude, they would know what to do with themselves. I think they would implode. But, dogs that have the intelligence and the ability to run these trials, I think would make really good hunting retrievers if they were exposed to it,
Do you, I used to hunt a lot of the guys in that North Texas, them field trial guys. The big dogs in the 80s and 90s. I hunted a bunch of those guys. And I would tell them sometimes they'd want to bring a dog up here. And I was like, you don't understand. Your dog's great at running blinds. 3 blinds, an honor, watermark, whatever. He's excellent.
Yeah.
But him laying next to you in the spread, and him sitting there and letting those geese circle 4, 5, 6 times and as loud as they are. And then they land at 10 yards in front of him. And then all these people shoot and there's dead birds falling everywhere. And then we pick up 3 or 4 birds and we get back down because we got more coming and all them birds. You just can't teach that. And you can't and you can't train a hunting dog for that either. They've got to experience that, and it's
experience.
Yes,
it's exposure.
Like Andy's got a brand new dog he's going to be hunting this year. He's going to learn a lot from November to January. That won't be the same dog in January that was in November.
100%.
I'm so nervous already.
Well, yeah, because you had one that was done it, but you went through it one other time.
I know, but
it is a tough.
Andy, did you do most of the training yourself, or did you send them off to somebody, or what did you do?
I'm doing it all myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a little guy too. He's 50 pounds. It's funny. So I had Lou, my old dog. He topped out around 100, and then I found out he did have a thyroid issue, so we got his weight down under 3 digits. But he was long, he was lanky, he was tall. I mean, he was built like fucking Scooby Doo. And then now I've got Roy. And
hey Andy, did that dog hold up well?
He made it to 11.
Lou?
He made it to 11.
Really? But like he never had any kind of injuries from that workload you put on him with the dog of that size? I'm just curious.
No, nothing.
Same energy level as a puppy as when he died.
Yeah, like
is that right?
He was 1,000 miles an hour all the way through. He died, I guess, 2 years ago. We were at the Delta show in July. He dropped him off out here. We were going to the Delta show. He was staying. We had a guide out here that was kind of helping get the lodge in order for the summer. and dropped him off on a Thursday, and on a Friday got a call that he had passed away. He had just got done. He had taken a leak outside, came inside, went into the office floor, took one big deep breath, exhaled, and that was it. Lights out. So,
hey man, I don't know how you feel about it, but I hope I can go out that lucky. I'd rather it be quick and fast, other than some prolonged agony-filled deal.
Oh man, I see so
Well,
many
I don't want you
videos.
dying in my office, though.
I see so many videos like on Instagram and shit. You know, they're the family pet. You know, they're having the kids tell it goodbye. Its hips had gone out. And like I avoided so much. It was a weird deal because I don't really feel like I had closure at the moment. So I had a rent-a-dog that year. One of our good friends, he was a half brother to Lou, and I ran him 2 years. I ran him the year after Lou died, and I actually ran him last year because I had the puppy. But I don't really feel like I had closure until that hunting season. The first hunt that I did without Lou, it kind of hit me that he wasn't there anymore. It was a weird deal.
Was it rough for you? Hey, was it rough for you, that first hunt back without your dog?
That first hunt was pretty. It was weird. I had him cremated. He's in one of these decoys here. Or no. Corey from Cedar Run made a bumper for him. So
Dude, that's awesome.
His ashes are in here.
Urn?
Hand carved wood.
hand carved urn. Yeah, it's all wood. That's
awesome.
This end comes out and you can pour his ashes. He's also made me a speckle belly decoy that his ashes are in at home, but this Lou's out here at the podcast studio. But so anyway, I spread his ashes in the field, and so yeah, it was a pretty rough moment. But
dude, I remember when my dog Sam died. August 25th of 2021. But anyway, that fall going up to Alberta, dude, I didn't give a damn about hunting.
Yeah.
For the first 2-3 weeks, dude, you wouldn't catch me out in the field. I might help you put the spread out or pick the spread up. I scouted, I did my job, all the stuff, yada, yada, yada. But as far as me getting out there and sitting, I didn't want nothing to do with it, dude. It was hard, man. That stuff's hard. Like your kids.
And like, it was weird because like we just came home from the Delta show and he just wasn't there. Like Tony, Jeff's brother, they took him to get cremated and everything. So I never saw him. Dead. The time I got, the next thing I saw was his ashes. Right. So it's just kind of this weird, you didn't really like, you were sad, obviously telling the kids was hard, but like, I didn't have any closure of like seeing his dead body and taking him to get ashes. So it didn't really hit me until probably November, but yeah, now we got Roy, and Roy's
how old is he? So how old is the dog going to be when the season starts?
He was born in March, so he's a year and 4 months. So he'll be
18 months old.
I'm kind of mixed on that. Like Lou was a Christmas puppy, so I got him. Lou was 9 months his first hunt, or 10 months. He would have been 10 months. So Roy's going to have an extra 8 months. So I don't know. Like I might lose a year on the back end with Roy, and I don't know how the math's gonna work out.
What are you gonna like throw him right into the fire? Or are you gonna kind of ease into it with him a little bit?
So luckily, like hopefully we have some teal hunting here. Teal hunting's a nice kind of, it's a quick little burst and some introduction into stuff like that. I'll do a little bit of dove hunting with him, but probably not too much. But yeah, it's just gonna be right into the fire. The good thing is like November, we're not super busy. So like I could get a group of like 6 or 8 guys and just kind of poke at them. So, but yeah, other than that, it's going to be right into the fire.
You can do like Dad did. We used to do practice hunts.
No, I'm not setting out a decoy.
We used to not do that, but we would go hunt in August before dove season started to practice, get the dog ready for dove season. We had a couple of ponds by our house. Dad go down.
Y'all set decoys, get some guys in a blind, like throw birds up. Everybody would stand up, shoot the whole deal.
No, we'd put out 6 duck decoys and we'd shoot dove in August all the time. We was practicing for dove season. Dad did that shit. I look back now, and my God, my dad was a freaking outlaw.
A bit of an outlaw.
The older I get, I realize, damn, there's no way. Dad wasn't in the hunting business and wasn't frowned upon like it is now. But
we'll hunt in August to get ready for September.
We just do this shit in March, you know?
Y'all never heard of preseason? What the hell? We got to knock the rust off somehow. Yeah.
In January, though, there were some days that I took Roy out for the setup and everything to like see the decoys. And then like I got into where I was hiding. We threw some bumpers. So he ran through some decoys in January. So he's at least seen it. Whether or not his ass remembers it, I don't know. But I remember Lou's first hunt.
Pups are awesome and a pain in the ass all in the same breath. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Like last night we were outside watching TV and like he just curls up next to you. Like he's fucking mini, dude. He's 50 pounds. Like my wife always wanted a lap dog. Well, now she's got a lap dog. And I mean, but like labs, it doesn't matter how big they are. They always think they're a lap dog. Like even at 100 pounds, Lou would always try to get in your shit. But now like Roy, it ain't bad. Like he can just crawl up there. And
is he more of like a bottle rocket or steady, like kind of pace dog or what?
He's fast.
Like when he runs. Oh, he is.
Oh, he's fucking fast. Very, very fast.
You know who he reminds me of? Dang it. I'm getting old.
And I don't know what his vertical is. I need to measure his vertical, but he can fucking one hop anything.
What?
Like
Can he?
he's like a cat.
Oh, Austin Kaufman's dog.
Oh, yeah.
She was little.
Yeah,
And
little.
she could freaking, like somebody shot her out of a rocket.
But our bed's a little bit higher, and he'll just one hop it. Just boop.
I always like those hunting dogs, dude, that are just as fast coming in as they are going out.
Yeah.
Because they can get to the next one quick,
Yeah.
too.
I might be late to this, but we are in the middle of force fetching right now, and I know like timeline and everything. But spring, I was planning on doing it after hunting season, and then we got mixed up in kid baseball and other shit like that. So summer's been busy, but anyway, we're force fetching right now, and it's going pretty good. So
How's it going?
it's going
all right?
good.
That's a terrible thing to do.
It's going good. Do you do your force fetch? Do you force fetch your dogs?
No. That is one. Even if I had access to all the grounds and had all the help to help with everything else, that is one thing, dude. I don't know if I could do it.
No.
Andy,
Do
and
you
it's
do
not
you have
as-
your dogs force fetched?
Oh hell yes, I do.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Man, that's kind of like the basis of everything, dude. It's force. You know, they understand. You know, they're learning how to pick that bumper, that dowel up, hold it in their mouth until you release them. But what they're understanding, they're getting a grasp of what's black and what's white, and understanding pressure and what that pressure means.
Right.
And, you know, then once they come out of that, then you're going to the yard, starting all the pile work, goes into tee, the double, all the cast. Like there's a lot to it, but that is the base of it, man. And if you don't have a good solid base in this retriever training stuff, if you have holes in it, those holes might not show up initially, but somewhere on down the way, down the path, they are going to show. They're going to rear their ugly head.
Yeah. So we're about I don't know, we're a couple weeks in, so hopefully I can get this done here pretty quick and move on to.
Are the boys helping you do that?
No, they stay inside.
They haven't even been there to watch it? I used to get pissed at my dad doing it when I was 13 and 14.
He's a tough little bastard. I've been pulling on some toes.
I hated that. Listen to them when they hit that, when they give in the first time.
That's when the bumper goes in easy.
Yeah, but I tell you, I hated that. I don't.
Open that mouth so this bumper can go in, and the pressure goes away.
I got two spoiled ass Labradoodles, and when you watch TikTok videos of them goofy, quirky bastards, we got two. We got one that's extremely quirky. And when I thought, boy, me and Michelle, we got $1 million dog here. We could put him on movies. And then you look on TikTok, and there's 1 million of them little bastards just like that.
Oh, man.
They're spoiled rotten, and there's no way.
I see Labradoodles everywhere now.
They're the best pets in the world. I'm telling you right now. I grew up with labs, and I love labs. And I don't know that my youngest Labradoodle would have made a hunting dog, because I don't know if he's got the bottom in him that a lab has. But for being a pet, I would tell anybody that if you just want a pet and your wife to love a pet you have, that is the best pet there is in the world. They're loving, they're forgiving, they're smart.
Are
as
yours more
hell.
lab-like or poodle-like, you think?
50-50.
Yeah, 50. They got that quirky poodle shit in them. And they got and they got the poodle growl. My oldest one's got that poodle growl, kind of a grouchy fucker. But our youngest one is got a lot of lab in him. Loves to retrieve, loves to get shit.
They don't shed, do they?
No. Well, my oldest one, he's counterfeit because that fucker sheds like crazy. The youngest one we have doesn't shed at all, and he's got the curly ass hair and stuff. But my grandkids have got some ball they get in this pool with, a green ball, and that dog, that youngest, can find that son of a bitch every time he goes outside. He comes back, and I'll put it up somewhere, and he finds it every time. But they are smart dogs. They love to retrieve.
Oh yeah.
They're good
Oh,
dogs.
Boston, Arkansas has one, man. His name is Levon. Some of the guys, I'm sure they'll be listening to this podcast.
I love that.
Yeah, Levon. Hey, who named him? Who named him after Levon Helms? Because that is his favorite singer or whatever from his favorite band, the band. Anyway, Levon Helms is from Turkey Scratch, Arkansas, and that's where Hoot got the name. And that Labradoodle, and he looks like a Levon.
Levon.
He
That's
looks
what he
like a
looks
Levon.
like.
My dad said you never name your dog anything derogatory because that somebody will make you pay for it when he gets older. So you don't do that. But
Well, what's funny is I named Roy. So Ron's nickname was Roy. So I named my dog, the next dog, I named him Roy. Well, Ron was a big man, like a big burly guy. And now I got Roy, who's supposed to be named after Ron, and he's just fucking mini thing. And it's like, well, that didn't really work out.
actually, Lou was a lot like Dad.
Lou was more like Ron. If I'd have known that this dog was going to top out at 50 pounds and have a fucking vertical of 8 foot, I'd have named him Flea.
Flea.
Black, tiny, and just can hop.
Muggsy.
Yeah, I would have named him Flea. Looking back, Flea was a much better name than Roy, but
Yeah,
it is.
that's fun.
It is what it is. Well, listen, Travis, we've kept you long enough. We appreciate you coming on here, man.
Yeah, man. I always enjoy doing the podcast.
Really appreciate it.
Really
So, when do you go up to Canada?
I'll leave. Our first group gets in on the 6th of September this year. I'll get up there, shoot, man, a good 2, if not 3 weeks before. Just make sure everything's hunky-dory. I'm actually, while I'm up in Minnesota, I'm going to fly up and spend a few days up there. We had a few new things added to the lodge, and I just want to make sure everything's status quo before I show up, or if it's not, I can prepare for it. But yeah, we'll start then, and then we're going until Halloween Day, and then I'll drive down to Arkansas, and I'll be here until about the 1st of March.
Get ready for all that. Hey, how's the workout routine going? How's working out over 40?
Dude, it kind of sucks.
I'm
man.
38.
If this is a precursor to the golden years, Andy, let me tell you something, buddy. It ain't shit golden about them, dude. It kind of sucks, man. Stuff kind of hurts. You really gotta ease into it anymore. Like stretching, I think, is really important to get going. Recovery is crazy important. I gotta always remind myself that I'm 40, I'm not 20, so stuff takes longer.
I've noticed that my warm-ups take about as long as my workouts do anymore.
Yes, man, and it's important, dude. And you know how I learned that, Andy? I learned it the hard way, man.
Yeah.
I learned by freaking hurting myself and not taking the time needed to prep my body for it or to recover after the fact. And it's taken some time, but it's all good, dude. Just try not to be a fat guy.
Don't know fat guys. Are you on TRT?
No fat guys.
Are you on TRT?
Huh?
Are you on testosterone replacement therapy?
No, I'm not on anything, dude. I eat whole foods. I take creatine, buddy, and that's about all I do.
How was your day yesterday? Andy did bleachers yesterday, and it was I'm telling you right now, Satan's asshole is in Knox County right now. It is hotter than hell, 105 to 110. The humidity's about 60%, and the wind is blowing about 35 miles an hour out of the southwest. It's been miserable for a week straight, or at least 10 days. Mm-hmm. And I saw Andy on the bleachers yesterday going up and down.
Told you I would.
They're out there doing all that stuff.
Andy could have been a Navy SEAL. I'm telling you.
The guy that I do, the guy that leads the jiu-jitsu that I go to, he does bleachers every Monday for 30 minutes and then walks a mile. And so my oldest son started summer workouts this summer, and that was a whole big thing in the house. Weird thing for a dad that you've got this little kid, and then now you realize he's of age that he's doing summer workouts every day for football, and you're like, motherfucker, where'd time go? So anyway, I was dropping him off for his first summer workout, and I saw the guy that I do jiu-jitsu with. I saw him doing bleachers. So I texted him, I was like, hey, how much longer are you going to be up there? And then I went up there one Monday, and then so now that's like our Monday thing. We do 30 minutes of bleachers, and then we walk.
Are y'all just running up and down them, or y'all doing different stuff?
Up and down for 30 minutes. The first 15 minutes, I've noticed it hurts going up. The last 15 minutes, it hurts going down.
Yeah. Them thighs, that going down stuff, everybody's like, oh man, running downhill and doing all this stuff, it's kind of easy, ain't it? I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
it really kind of sucks, man.
Yeah.
Because we did a lot of hiking and some trail running when I was out in Oregon, and dude, your thighs burn up. I mean, I'm a flatlander, dude. I'm from the coast of Texas. I mean, I'm used to being in a place where you can see for miles and miles, and there is no elevation unless it's about a little 20-foot ground rise. And that stuff out there, it'll eat you up, man.
Yeah. But I saw something on Instagram. It said 35 to 45. Like for the average man, like that's your last window to get in really, really good shape. Like that's kind of it.
Right?
Like it just, well, I mean, just your body's going to quit producing testosterone like it used to. Over 45, when you start getting closer to 50, recovery takes a lot longer. So it's like 35 to 45, like that's your last little bit of window to get in peak, whatever you want to do, whether it be physical shape, a good dad, a good business husband, business partner. Like after that,
makes sense, man.
You pinnacle
That's
out
when a
at
lot of the
45.
people start to fall off too, dude. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
you know plenty of people that do. They get lost and they become a shell of themselves, and the biggest pusher for me on this stuff and trying to stay somewhat fit and active, dude, it's just for my occupation, man, because I don't want to be out there on opening day in Alberta pulling decoys out the trailer, and there I am huffing and puffing, need to find an oxygen tank, need all the water, like that sort of deal. I don't want to be that. So like, I think from a guiding standpoint, especially, man, more guys would definitely benefit from it. I don't care if you're a deer guide, turkey, duck, waterfowl, whatever, it doesn't matter. But being and that's everybody in life, but for us, making our living outdoors, dude, it helps a lot.
I'm going to say that waterfowl guides, and I'm not a waterfowl guide. I'm going to sit in my office or my truck guy, so I'm not part of this deal.
You're a waterfowl guide manager.
There you go. But the waterfowl guides, like when you go to these shows, these young guys are taking care of themselves. There's a lot more of you guys. Like Wade Shoemaker's in great shape. A lot of the guys that are in the waterfowl world, you don't see
younger generation.
Yes, the older
yes,
guys,
you are right.
my generation guys were fat guys that were living on donuts, and we didn't have
dude,
Red
I grew
Bull.
up around them too,
Yeah.
Jeff. I saw them, man.
But
they were in shape. If pear was a shape or something, I mean, that's the kind of shape they were in.
Yes, and it's changed a lot in the last. I've noticed in the last 15 years, the young guys that they all work out and do things.
Plus, I got an 11-year-old, and the day is coming where he's going to size me up.
No, it's not either.
You know what I mean? Like that day is coming where he's going to look at Dad a little cross-eyed, and
not him.
You're going to make sure that day is is still way out in the future.
Yeah, I'm going to be old enough to where when he does look at me that way, he's not going to want to do it. You know,
he's going to question himself and his decision in that moment.
Yeah,
that's not him. Maybe your younger one. The older one is way too smart. He'll just outsmart you.
Either way, there's going to come a day.
You're in what do they call that stuff? Jiu-jitsu. I see you doing it on Facebook. Can't you put them like in a rare naked check hole?
That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm busy with jiu-jitsu and lifting weights and staying in shape, so that when they think, hey, Dad is vulnerable right now, I can take him. Think
hey, man, you ain't got to get ready, Andy, if you stay ready,
right.
and that's it right there.
What's funny is the guy that's in charge of the jiu-jitsu class, his daughter's boyfriend's in the class, and I would hate to be the kid dating that guy's daughter.
Yeah.
Because Logan's 42, and he's in shape of a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
He looks like he could be, when you say, when you see the guys that are Navy SEALs, they've been in for 20 or 25 years, those special forces guys, he's built like that and is in that kind of shape.
I think he's deadlifting like 600 pounds or some shit like that for reps. I mean, he's just a fucking bull.
Was he 6'1"?
Yeah. Oh, 657 times. He did that on his 42nd birthday just to prove that he still could.
And this kid played 7-on-7 football for me, and he was 5'10", weighed 122 pounds maybe, soaking wet. He could have hid behind a telephone pole. But he is a strapping man, and I would not want to piss him off. And I can't imagine him getting mad. Because last time I went to jiu-jitsu, we had done this deal where you had 15 or 30 seconds, and you try everybody, or up to 2 minutes, and his lasted about 12 seconds with everybody in there. And some other guys.
Is he a black belt? Yeah. I'm guessing he's a black belt.
Yeah, and he's just, thump, 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 and he shows you the bottom of your feet, and then next, and then next, and next. And
There's somebody that strong, like you're talking about, that I'm sure he is also extremely agile. That that's a weapon.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a weapon.
That's the kind of guy someone smarts off to and they realize they probably shouldn't have.
No, that's why you can't mess with anybody, dude. With all that UFC stuff going on, you might, like, I'm over here 6'7", 245, 250 pounds somewhere in there, and I don't want to mess with nobody. Like, I don't care if they're little pipsqueaks. That dude might be like black belt martial art king or something. He gonna lace me out.
But when you were playing football at A&M, you went to the bar or wherever you went to. You didn't worry about nobody jumping on your big ass at all.
No,
never.
I didn't. No.
But nowadays, you see that 5'10" guy with the cauliflower ears over there, and you're thinking,
no, dude. If their flowers look funny or their ears look funny, like some kind of flower, dude, you don't want nothing to do with that cat.
That's the guy you do not mess with.
I think that video
Stay
that came
away
out
from
of
him.
that video that came out of Oklahoma, that receiver that jumped on the wrestler, that should have been.
Dude, and he got smoked.
Yep.
Yes, quickly.
He got smoked.
Well, you know, the other football players were giving him shit. They didn't want no
Oh,
part of
dude,
it
I
either.
guarantee a team meeting the next time they had one, they walked in. I bet the big screen was down. Everybody got seated. I bet not even a word was said. The lights got turned off, and they just showed it.
Oh, shit. Not good. Not good.
Well, Travis, you be safe, my friend. We'll see you in November, probably.
Hope see you in November, dude.
I want to come out there, man. I've never hunted a speck in that part of the world. I'd like to do it.
We'll
Make it happen
come
anytime.
Anytime you want to. November, December, and January. God bless, bud. Be safe going up north
All right,
again.
man.
See
Thanks
ya.
for having me, fellas.
Yes,
See
sir.
y'all.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
And we are out.
Super good dude. Did you see the news on Chris Johnson?
ALS, man.
That's
Already
terrible.
can't talk.
He can't talk already? That's too bad.
You didn't watch the video of him with Michael Strahan?
No, I don't
Strahan?
want to watch that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
like that. So he's got it bad and fast.
he can talk with his eye. He's got the machine that he can talk with his eyes. I'm assuming that he recorded a bunch of stuff before he lost his ability to speak because it's still in his voice. But like he sits, like he's got his hands here and he doesn't move. But he's been diagnosed. He's had it a year and he's already lost his ability to speak. So I'm assuming it's going to take him pretty quick.
Yeah, I've had, the guy that played for New Orleans, he lived for like 10 years with it.
Who?
The kid they named the statue after, the special teams guy that played at New Orleans. What was that guy's name? Anyways, there's a player that played at New Orleans when they won the Super Bowl after Katrina.
Right.
And he was on that team and made a big play in the Super Bowl, and he got it. And he lived for, I think he's still alive, maybe even. He's like 10 years. I mean, that's been a long time. But I had a friend of mine, an older gentleman that had it, that was a wealthy man, could have went anywhere in the world, and he was died within 6 months.
That's probably the way to go. And it's looking like I'm not going to speculate, but if he's already lost his ability to speak within a year, I don't know how long it's going to be. But I was looking up like the way you die, and basically your muscles just give out. You don't breathe anymore.
Yep, it's a bad deal. It's horrible.
Horrible. So anyway, all right, we're out of here. Have a great week, everybody. We love you. Goodbye.
Peace. God bless. Bye.